With the 9th anniversary for DVD coming up, I figured I would sit down and critique this upcoming chapter with my overall thoughts and opinion on it. As someone who has been playing this game for about 5 years, and someone who used to be in the FNAF community, way up to Ultimate Custom Night, so let's talk about Let's start with one of the main things people have been talking about him, his design. From an outside perspective, this is a favorite recreation of his original design, from the tears in his suit to his moldy look along with his iconic stare, and him finally having a corpse inside of him compared to his official corpse, which was basically... Now, if you are someone from the FNAF community, you'll notice a few missing things with this version of Springtrap compared to how he looks in FNAF 3. The most noticeable one being that the tears in his suit aren't a one-to-one recreation, but this to me is more than understandable why they didn't go with fully recreating the tears all around him. Since if you were to create the most accurate version of this suit, the model will more or less make the lobby shit itself, or to people who don't have a good enough graphics card to fully crash their PCs to try and load into a match. The second issue is something I noticed when I saw the model for the first time, and is that the suit is only one color, that being moldy green. Compared to his official look, the top part of him is correct with the moldy green, but it's when you get to his lower part is when you see there's a different darker shade of green for his torso and legs, with the starting part of his suit also having this dark shade of green. Now this is something that could get possibly changed from the PTSP to live, but we'll have to wait and see for that. In terms of gameplay, people for many years had so many different ideas on what Springtrap's power could possibly be, from having the Phantoms as his assistants in the match, to having some sort of fire-like ability because of what happened in Snap 3, with the place burned down. And there's many ideas that could go on, that could be complex or complicated, but now that he's finally here, we get to see how he will play. To give you the TLDR, he's basically Huntress but made in the modern day of DVD, with the comparison to her being noticeable, with Huntress being able to throw 7 hatchets, while Springtrap being able to throw 1 axe, with Huntress's hatchet having infinite range, while Springtrap's axe having a max 10 meter range. But is there more to the axe compared to the hatchets?
Yes!
While Huntress's hatchet can both be aimed and hit people across the map, Springtrap's axe can hit people in tall loops if you know the right angle. That and he can recall the axe while need to find a locker to get his power. The only thing I would change is to give the axe a 5 more maze base kit, giving his axe throw a max 15 meter range, to encourage people to try and go for distance throws, like Huntress, while promoting the worst aspect of Huntress, which he heavily promotes, by backgrabbing people with the axe. Another thing he can do with the axe is if you manage to injure someone with the axe and get close to them, you get a special prompt to grab someone and carry them, skipping the entire downing and picking them up, similar to how Wesker can carry people with his power. The secondary part of his power is the doors. When you spawn into the match, you have 7 doors you can choose to go to that are close to the generators, that can get to the one side of the map or vice versa. The survivor is also able to interact with them while having a camera system to check where you are. If the survivor is able to expose you from the camera, your aura will be revealed to everyone, no matter if you are undetectable or not. While this does sound cool and interesting, in theory, the execution of this is a bit underwhelming, since there's no real incentive to expose him or using the cameras. Yes, you can see the aura of him even when he's undetectable, but there has to be more to it if you want survivors to interact with the system. Like maybe if you're able to expose him from the cameras, he gains a 5% hinder, something to encourage the survivors to engage with this system. Another issue I have with this door system is that I don't think you should also give survivors the same ability as Springtrap to choose whatever door they want to come out from. It should work more like this, where whatever door that panel is connected to, that should be the door they come out from. Along with Springtrap, we also get a new map, that being Very Fast-Paced Pizza. Now this layout is more so inspired by the movie version of the place, rather than a copy from FNAF 1. since the layout from the first game was more or less impractical if they were to put into something like DVD. So I'm glad they went with the movie layout, but not a complete one-to-one with that either, which was my main concern when they announced they were bringing this version of the pixel to the map. And let me show you why. Luckily, the version we got in the game is quite small, which is a good thing. Now, the tiles that spawn inside the pixel can range from unsafe to one safe palette and mine, but the main strength from this main building is the window from the backstage that feels very similar to an unfavorable map in mind for killers. Overall, I would say the concept they got going for Springtrap is there, but more could be done with him to make it more engaging for both sides, since I'm hoping that he won't be like Vecna, where it took them over a year to finally get him into a good spot, where before he was more or less a cakewalk to deal with. But I am concerned that they would make some sort of change for him to make him more impressive, since the last thing we need is something like another Pyramid Head, or God forbid another ghoul like when he first came out, where there's very little you can do against him. But I hope this video was somewhat useful to help shape the way he'll go from the PTB to live. But until then, I'll see you guys once he does hit the live servers.